he thought that would provide a more secure future for me. Well, guess what? The factory I was working at closed down. The place I was waitressing at, the restaurant, closed down. The dry cleaner I was working at burned down. Hey, it's Katherine Norland. This video is a request from Vyas. I hope I'm saying your name right. V-Y-A-S. He wanted some advice on what to do if your parents are trying to pull you into a career that's not of your choosing. There's a lot of parents that want to pressure their kids into being a doctor, being a lawyer, being something that has the epitome of what they think is successful. He used the example of, what if my parents want me or are pushing me to be an engineer and I just want to be a musician? Well, first, your parents, usually, they want what's best for you. They want what they think is best for you. They want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you have a broken heart and not have success. So a lot of times when we have a dream in our heart to do something that they have never heard of anybody doing successfully, they want to ensure that we go down the right path, that we're going to be provided for and taken care of. And sure, maybe there's some parents that want to steer us in a certain direction for selfish motives, but most of the time that's not the case. Now, when I told my parents that I was going to move to Los Angeles and become an actress, my dad says, "Oh no, that's too risky." And it is risky. Only 3% of actors actually make a living at acting. So 97% is my chances of failing, right? And there's only been probably maybe 3 or 4 years that I have been acting where I've actually made enough to live on, but it was my dream. And sometimes you just have to go for your dreams while you have the faith and the gumption and the work attitude to just give it all you've got. Because you know what? Maybe you'll fail. Sure, that might happen, but it might not. And do you want to be wondering when you're old and in the nursing home sitting in a rocking chair, what would have happened if I just went for my dream? No, you want to give it everything you've got and go for it. You want to see, when you have a dream in your heart, just the very fact that you have that dream, that tells me that you have the capabilities to make it happen. What happens when we don't make it, a lot of times has to do with us doubting ourselves. And when we start to doubt ourselves and lose faith, it's like a domino effect. Once you lose faith that you can do it, you start to back off. You start to not go for it. You start to not give it your all. You start to have one foot in and one foot out. Or it's like you're straddling a fence. You've got your part-time, full-time. You now turn your dream into your side hustle, or this hobby, or this thing you do part-time. If it's within your ability to give it everything you've got and to go for it each and every day and to make a plan and to follow the plan and to put everything you've got into it, then do it. You might end up getting to the place where I'm at. I'm not saying I'm this big successful person, but I'm making money on a regular basis acting. Now, it's not quite to the point where I'm living a big fancy lavish lifestyle or anything like that, but it's enough to get me by doing what I love. And for me, doing something I love that fuels me and gives me passion, even if it's for less than what I would get doing some big fancy job that I don't actually like, that's not in my heart, to me that would be like a slow death. Going to a job every day that's not your passion just because you can make big money. The shiny toys start to get dull. They lose their impact. It doesn't have the same appeal. So I say you go for what's in your heart. Yeah, your parents may get mad. Yeah, they may not understand. But this is your life, and you only get one go around. You only get one chance. So yes, they may mean well, and you can honor them and love them and, you know, comfort them and saying, I understand you want what's best for me. I know you want me to have this career or this other thing. And if it is something you like, you know, maybe that's going to be there in the future for you. But when you're doing something like a sport, or you want to be an Olympic athlete, or you want to be certain things like a musician, I mean, you can be a musician at any age, but certain things do have a better window of opportunity and a chance in your youth. So you have to stop being a people pleaser, and you may have some people that don't like the decision you make, and you have to be okay with that, because you know what? You have to be happy with you. You have to be happy with the person staring back at you in the mirror that's saying, go for it, go for your dreams. So what? You might fail, but you might succeed, and you'll never know until you try. So keep trying, keep doing it. So to the parents, when my dad told me, you should really stay in Minnesota and keep your stable jobs, I was working like 3 jobs, and he thought that would provide a more secure future for me. Well, guess what? The factory I was working at closed down. The place I was waitressing at, the restaurant, closed down. The dry cleaner I was working at burned down. So my quote-unquote secure jobs weren't even secure. So, and I know there's many of you out there that can attest to secure jobs really not having the job security that they used to. So my dad being from a generation of, you know, the older generation of wanting the security, that security is not really around nowadays. There's nothing that you can really do that's secure. So even if secure job isn't really secure, and it's not your passion, it's not your calling, and you don't love it, you gotta go for what you love. If you want to be happy, you're not going to find happiness in money. I tried doing things just to make money. I was a stock trader for a while, day trading and following the stock charts, and you know, getting up 5 a.m., 6 a.m. studying. That did not give me any joy. So I stopped doing that. I don't want to do something just to make money. I started writing poetry instead. Published my first poetry book. To me, that filled my heart and gave me joy much more than watching the candlesticks on the stock chart go up and down. So my advice would be to do what you love, and if people don't like it, well, that's on them, because this is your life and you only get one chance to make it happen. So do what makes you happy, do what gives you joy and fulfillment, and maybe they'll come around. Maybe they'll see, you know what? You know, we were wrong. We shouldn't have said those things. We shouldn't have said those things. And I know my parents now are very proud of me. They're proud of how far I've come and that I fought through it. My dad now says I have bulldog tenacity. I sink my teeth into something. I lock my jaws and I never let go. And maybe that's what you need to do too. Don't be flying around listening to other people's opinions. You find your goal, you chomp down on it, you lock your jaw, and you have that bulldog tenacity to not let go until you make that thing happen for you, till you make your dreams submit to you. As always, live true, love hard, shine bright. Catch you later. Hey there, it is Katherine Norland. I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys think that this video would bless somebody else or that they need to hear it, please hit the share button. And there's a little bell button too, where you can be notified whenever I have a video that comes out so you don't miss a thing. I appreciate you guys. Remember, always live true, love hard, shine bright, and I will see you in the next video.